Well, I am just getting started on Facebook right now. If you're watching this, you're probably watching the recording. I hope everybody had a great Halloween. I'm going to quickly put this up on Twitter so everybody can join us for this Facebook Live Q&A. If this is your very first one, we are here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern to answer your questions, talk about cord cutting, kind of give an idea about cord cutting in general. So let's get this going and have some fun today and hopefully help some people get more out of cord cutting, maybe become a cord cutter, and let's enjoy our day. So a lot has been happening. We have new Roku OS out. There is, of course, the MyBox is still pretty new. I got that right here if you want to talk about that. We got DirecTV Now coming out here in a few days. Let me refresh the page and see if this came up on Facebook. Yep, there we are. Hey, it's great to see everybody up there. Go Blue, Jason. I see you there. Hello, Robert. When will the Roku update get released is the first question today. That actually started going live yesterday. Now, as with all updates, they roll out in steps. So just because it went live yesterday, you may need to wait a week or two for it to come. My recommendation, check in your updates every week to see if you've received the update. Sorry about the cat in the background. He is upset for some reason today. But if you have questions, post them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them as best I can, help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. Yeah, Robert, it's probably going to be a little while for everybody to get it. A few people have got it. It seems like Roku TVs will get them next week. I think I read that, though a few people have luckily got them early. I'm not really sure how Roku is deciding to roll these out to other people, but they do seem to be rolling them out in phases to prevent being overloaded. So if you have a question or comment, again, leave them down on the bottom. I got all kinds of devices from the MyBox here to the new Roku's sitting right here, Android boxes, all kinds of stuff. If you got a device, a service, Sling just came out with some new channels today. So ask your questions. I'll do best to answer them. Chase says, if I heard right, the updates will roll out to a lot of older Rokus as well. Yes, but I'm not sure where the cutoff is. I got to reach out to Roku tomorrow. I'll do that and see if I can get an actual lineup. But it seems like the Roku 3s haven't received it. Same with the 4s, but some 2s have. Some Roku TVs have. The newer ones seem to be a little later. The Express and so forth will probably get it in the next week or two. Just buy yourself a Roku TV. Those are great. I got 2 TCL Roku TVs here. Love them. What are the benefits of the TV versus a Roku stick? A few things with the TV. It's kind of nice having it all-in-one. Now with the Roku TVs, you get the ability to have a DVR-like content. It won't record shows, but will allow you to pause and play up to 90 minutes with live TV through your antenna, which is a pretty cool feature there. Now, it also allows you to do stuff, like I said, a sleep timer. I have one in my bedroom. It's really nice to have a Roku TV there. You know, if you have a data cap, I currently don't, but pretty much my entire cord cutting life, I've had a data cap. So the ability to set the sleep timer so when I fall asleep, I don't burn through my data cap is pretty cool. If I'm watching Watch ESPN or another service that just keeps going, the Roku sleep timer is pretty nice. Now the stick is nice. If you're not on the market for a TV, getting the stick will give you some of the same things. Power it through the TV USB. When the TV turns off, the stick will turn off, canceling out the stream. So there are a lot of benefits out there to both. The newer ones are as fast or faster than the stick. Some of the very first generation Roku TVs can be a bit slow, but I've been very impressed with it. So both are good. Get whatever you want. If you're not looking for a new TV, get a stick. If you're looking for a new TV, check out the Roku TVs. Ryan asks, are you going to do a video with the DirecTV Now service? Yes, as soon as I can. Word is in about 2 days I'll be live, but that's all coming from a leaked internal email, and those have a way of changing. They may say that this is what we're going to do now, but then before we know it, it's some type of internal issue happened and they put it back without warning. So don't be surprised if the 4th comes and goes without the service. But right now it looks like the 4th is when it's going to happen. Robert asks, why doesn't Sling have all the networks from Viacom like Nick and Fox, Fox FM, whatever? Viacom does not own Fox News or FX, FXM, and so forth. That's Probably because the negotiation rights haven't come up. Sling has been pairing the negotiations for Sling along with the negotiations for Dish. So I expect that when Dish renews their contract with Fox for Fox News and all that, they'll probably try their best to make it a deal where they have to add Sling TV into that deal with Dish. So hopefully in the next year or so there, Robert. Titus, have you tried out the DVR functionality with the new Roku S? It says that you need a 16 gigabyte USB stick. Yes, I actually went and ordered another 16-inch gigabyte stick because I only had one laying around. Don't really use USB sticks anymore. I didn't want to get rid of that one. Haven't tried it out yet. Next week I should get it with the majority of the Roku TVs. I have a TCL 40-inch and a 55-incher. So check back. Hopefully next week I'll have a full video of that. I'll check tomorrow. Maybe I got lucky and it popped up overnight. So, yeah. So jump back to Sling though, and all of them. I've talked to Sling the most. They've been the most. Their PR is excellent. They're very good at reaching out, talking, and everything with us. They've never said this, but you get the impression that they want everything they can get their hands on if the price is right. And the issue more seems to be with the content holders. In this case, Fox not giving rights to FX movies and so forth to Sling TV to do it. And so if you want a channel, I wouldn't complain to Sling, though it doesn't hurt to send them a message. I would be reaching out to that particular channel and say, hey, FXM, we want you on Sling TV. That's probably going to be your most effective way to get them on Sling TV, so put pressure on that channel. With Sling TV offering higher price packages, don't you think they are becoming to act like a lot like a cable company? No. Sling's whole thing is about flexibility. You don't have to get all those add-ons. So just because they're offering add-ons doesn't mean it's good for you. And the nice thing about Sling is you don't need them all the time. You know, when Sling comes out, I initially use it for sports. I'll pay for it during the fall, during football season. Go blue there, David. I was at the game last week. That's why I put the hat right there. I was at the Michigan State game. I subscribe during football season. That's it. So it's great. Instead of having to agree to a 2-year contract where I pay for it for 2 years, pay out through the nose, I can pay just for the sports during football season. And that's really the only reason I would pay for Sling, to be honest with you, is for a live content like college football. So I don't really think there's like cable. I'm more concerned about PlayStation, DirecTV Now and Hulu Live. Those two services sound a lot more like cable TV than a cord-cutting type package. Hey, I see there's a lot of people here just joining us. If you have a question, leave me a comment down below on Facebook. Speaking of which, let me go share this off with our tech support page. Make sure that everybody who wants to can get in on this. But I'll do my best to answer your questions. If I miss your question, repost it. Last week, Facebook was being kind of weird when it came to the comments, and it wasn't really giving me a live roll of them. Roger asks, when can I expect the new Roku S, my older Roku stick, and Roku SE? I don't know if they're going to go to the older Roku stick. I'm assuming you're meaning the purple Roku stick. There is a cutoff there. I'm not sure what it is. I would expect all current and former generations, so the Roku 1 through 4, the Express, all of them to get it. The Roku stick, the black one for sure. Be interesting to see if the purple one gets it. The Roku HD, which I actually got right here. You know, like for instance, this Roku HD, it's questionable if this is going to get it. You know, there is a speed issue here. This was my very first Roku right there. You know, so we'll have to wait and see what devices get that. I'm going to try to reach out to Sling and see, or Sling Roku, and see if I can get comment on what devices will be supported and what won't be supported. Fingers crossed there. Part 2 of your question, Roger, is do you think DirecTV Now will be better than Sling? Just don't know enough. We don't know all the channels. We know there's going to be multiple packages, but we don't know what. A vague comment that will start at 35 and offer 100 channels. Now, does that mean the 30? You know, everybody wrote, hey, $35, 100 channels, but it's possible that that $35 is not going to give you all 100 channels. You know, Sling offers 100 channels, but it's not part of the base package. We just don't know enough. So let's wait and see once we know more. And if the internal email that leaked is true, we may know more this Friday. Lynn asks, when will Netflix start showing Disney content? They already have. It was misreported by a lot of sources that the Disney contract would give them all Disney content. No, the deal is that, similar to a lot of their other deals, just a few Disney movies and shows will be included. Now, it has resulted in more Disney Junior, Disney TV shows, that kind of stuff being on the service. Princess Sophia, Doc McStuff. Wait, Doc, I think, has a thing with Hulu. A lot of the other stuff has appeared on there. So it's there. They have a couple new movies. I think The Jungle Book will be the big movie coming this year or this month. Disney's Jungle Book movie that came out this year will be on there. So unfortunately, that rumor that went flying across the internet that everybody or everything from Netflix and Disney would be on there, it's just bad press. Somebody screwed it up and reported it wrong, and it kind of caught on like wildfire. Thanks, Roger. Really appreciate your support. Cord cutting is a great field. I love talking about. I love helping people, and it's always great to hear people appreciate the work. Hopefully, your cord cutting experience be a smooth one. Robert, yeah, I'm not. It may have just come out. I thought Jungle Book came out later this month, but it may have just come out. If you go to Cord Cutters News, scroll down a little bit, you'll see a complete list of everything coming to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon this month, all on one big list there. So check that out if you're looking to find out what's new, at least, on Netflix this month. Hey, everybody, it's great to see so many people here. If you have a question, a comment, it doesn't even really have to be cord cutting, about myself, my experience running Cord Cutters News, post it here on cordcuttersnews.com or facebook.com/cordcuttersnews. I'm screwing that up again, and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. Any idea of another provider that might offer a DVR option like PlayStation Vue? It has been confirmed that Hulu will be offering that next year when they launch their live TV service. The problem being there is that it's sounds like you're going to get like 20 hours of DVR. And then if you want more, you got to buy more time on your DVR. So not exactly maybe what we want. Sling CEO responded to a question about DVR, said they are always looking at options like DVRs, or in his words, new options to develop for the service. But he said, I can't confirm anything at this time. Ryan, I don't really drink beer. Just never was much of a beer guy. Not my thing. I've been rather addicted to Coke, though. Everybody's got their vice, I guess. Any idea when the Fire TV OS will happen? This year. The new Fire TV OS is slated for this year. Scroll back about 2 pages on the home page of Cord Cutters News, and you will find some screenshots of that. Hello from Waco, Texas. Hello from Fort Hood, Texas. Just down the road. Was at the Baylor Bears game a few weeks ago. So Aaron asks, will the earlier Rokus like the first stick and the first generation Roku 2 begin the Roku OS? It's probably much more likely that the first generation Roku 2, which is in my closet behind me right now, will get the new Roku OS than the first generation Roku stick. I will reach out to Roku and try to find out. Now, they do say over the next few weeks they will be rolling out the Roku OS to other devices, so keep checking. Brandon asks, Sling TV or PlayStation Vue? I like things about both. As somebody who travels a lot, Sling TV's ability to have it all in one app, no matter where I go, is really nice. I like not having to switch between apps when I travel outside the house. I like PlayStation Vue because I have the Big Ten network and I'm a Big Ten fan. They all offer something there, and it's all different. I really am not a fan of how PlayStation Vue does their DVR. I wish Sling had a bigger on-demand content to replace the lack of a DVR there. I have both PlayStation Vue and Sling TV. They both seem to have about the same amount of issues for me. So get whatever one has the channels you want. If you're a Big Ten fan, get PlayStation Vue. If you're a Pac-12 fan, you want Sling because they have the Pac-12 network. Tim asks, any advice on my Sling TV session that hangs up so frequently that my basically unusable? All right. So you're having a lot of buffering issues there, Tim, with your Sling TV. Two things. Run a speed test. Fast.com. Make sure you're getting the speed you're paying for. Two, check the Wi-Fi connection where your device is. I had an issue with a lot of buffering happening in my living room. Turned out in my new house when we moved, the living room and the Wi-Fi router are about as far apart in the house as you can get. It just was not enough signal strength. Got a repeater, and it filled in the weak spot in my Wi-Fi network and took care of that. So check this. The issue is probably with your network. So go check your internet speed. Make sure you're getting what you paid for it. If not, contact your ISP. Make sure you don't have a weak spot in your Wi-Fi network. Check the connection there for that. And if possible, use a wired connection wherever possible. What's best for sports, Sling TV or PlayStation Vue? That depends on what sports network you have. Sling TV does seem to have more sports overall than PlayStation Vue. They got the Pac-12 network and a bunch of other ones out there, but PlayStation Vue does have Big Ten Network, which is one of the biggest sports networks out there. So it really depends on what you want and how much you're willing to pay. Check out both, see which stations have what you want or which servers have the stations you want. Any comments on AT&T's new streaming service? Charlie asks. I'm assuming you're talking about DirecTV Now. We really just don't know enough about it right now. We don't know the DVR. We don't know the channel lineup. We know there's multiple packages, and we don't know what they are. So I'm going to wait to hold off judgment on DirecTV Now until we know more. Will the DirecTV Now service be available separate from satellite service? Yes, it is a separate service that, according to AT&T executives, they intend to move most of their Dish subscribers to that one because, frankly, it's a higher profit margin. Satellite networks are rather expensive. Where can I find your website and Facebook page? Well, if you're on this page right now, this is my Facebook page. Cordcuttersnews.com is where you will find the site, cordcuttersnews.com. You can find that on this Facebook page. Sling has NHL Network. Yes, that's a recent addition. Again, I think Sling does have more sports overall, but they are missing the Big Ten Network, and that is a good reason to get PlayStation Vue if you're a Big Ten fan. Andy asks, I just found out today that Amazon Video allows you to download a movie or show to watch offline later 27 days. Yeah, I love that. I have a Kindle Fire tablet. Android does it. iOS does it now. When I travel, and I do quite a bit of traveling now, that's a great way to download a few episodes. My daughter, we always load up on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So if you have Amazon Prime, buy an episode a season, go through their on-demand or the Prime content, download some stuff. It really is a great service. I love Amazon Prime. Of course, I like to shop on there a lot too. Sling TV does not have the Longhorn Network. Yes, that is right. I forgot about the Longhorn Network. But PlayStation Vue does have it. Let me turn off my phone real quick. I apologize. There we go. So really, Sling TV and PlayStation Vue, it depends on what you want. Hey, one second, I didn't turn on my light over here. It's getting dark here, and I'm going to need this light in a second. Okay, I'm back. Ask, what is the Longhorn Network? Longhorn Network is the Texas University Sport Network. They have their, like the Big Ten and the Pac-12 networks, they have their own sports channel, and Sling does not have it. PlayStation Vue has it. Can't Sling watch it with Watch ESPN for Longhorn Network? No, they don't pay for the rights to the Longhorn Network. So just like if you only had Sling Basic, when you logged into the Watch ESPN app, you would only get access to content on ESPN 3, 1, and 2. You wouldn't get ESPNU or SEC Network. Keep your questions coming. Going to do my best to answer everybody's question as best I can today. This is a Audio Technica USB microphone there, Peter. It's I don't know, I think it was $50 on Amazon I got it. Unfortunately, I just dented it badly with my chair. So I'm going to be getting a new one because I hate how that looks up there. What other services do you recommend for cord cutters on a budget? If you're looking for free stuff, I recommend Tubi TV and Crackle. Great lineup of free content. Roku has a ton of free services like Sci-Fi Channel and more. a lot more than the Fire TV. So check that out. Kind of just shop around. If you're on a budget, really, check out what you're already paying for. Netflix and Hulu can get you quite far. An antenna is another great option to get a ton of free content without paying for it. It's a one-time cost to get an antenna, and you own it, and you can always use it to access content wherever you are. Look at antennarecommendations.com. That's antennarecommendations.com. Put your address in there. It will show you what channels you should get with what kind of antenna, indoor versus outdoor. So hopefully that helped you there. Where are the best spots to rent new movies? It really depends. I find iTunes and Amazon have similar catalogs. Fandango now has a pretty good lineup of new movies coming out right there. They pretty much all get the new movies about the same time. Personal preference, use whatever you use. I have Amazon Prime. I mostly use Roku's, Fire TV, so forth. So I get my content mostly from Amazon now. Not a big Apple person, so I don't use iTunes. My downside of iTunes is a very limited place where you can replay the content. So, but pretty much all the major stores, Vudu and so forth, will all have the content about the same time. So, all right, keep the questions coming. If you got questions about myself, about the site, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. We are going to be very active probably next week. I expect DirecTV Now to hit the market, and I'm excited to try it out. They have not reached out to me. They are one of the few services out there like that has not contacted Court Cards News for any details. AT&T, if you're watching this, somebody at DirecTV, give me a hookup. You have not been replying to my emails at all. So love to talk with you, work with you, and so on. Only one time did they respond to a request for comment. So hopefully, though, fingers crossed that they'll get back to me with more details. Peter has Tableau out, DVR Plus. The Tableau DVR is a great DVR for Court Cards. The thing about Tableau, I think a lot of people don't realize, is you need like a Roku or Fire TV. It takes your antenna, casts it through your home network to all your streaming media players pretty much out there right now. If you want a DVR, that's a great one. Yes, Bill, Vudu has added some movies for free, though they're older. That particular question was about new ones. Mark, welcome. Hey, I see, congratulations on cutting the cord last week. It's always great to see that. And, that's a good one, Bill, though. For the earlier question, somebody look for cheap stuff. Vudu now does offer free ad-supported movies. If you have a Roku, I don't know if they're on Android TV, but if you can get Vudu, check that out. Mike asks, MLB TV locks you out from local broadcast. What's the best way around that? Buy an antenna. World Series is all free over there with an antenna, so that's your best way. Sling TV, PlayStation View have a growing list of Fox Sports, Comcast Sports, and whatever. They pretty much have a selection of sports networks for most markets now. It's a growing list. They're doing better about that, so check out those two services, Sling TV or PlayStation Now, for your local Fox Sports, whatever. I have a feeling, though, that by the time baseball season comes around next year in 2017, it will be seeing a very different cord-cutting world, and access to that content will be a lot easier. Brandon asks, any DirecTV Now channel list? No, they've been very tight-lipped. Internal email leak suggests that Friday will be when they will go live. I have a suspicion that on Friday they'll probably, if that email is true, it probably was when it went out, but these things have a way of changing over time. And, we may just, all that may happen is like, hey, here's the details of what channels are there. We do know Disney channels and some others like that will be there. We do know that CBS is likely not to be part of the DirecTV Now lineup. We just bought a new Roku Ultra. Would love to know about apps. I can't get on my Fire. I'm assuming you mean Fire TV there, Lori. Check out the App Store. There's so many to list. Go to Roku.com. Look at the channel lineup. There are tons of apps there. Roku makes most of their money through ads, so they put a lot of content out there for free. That's ad supported. That's a big one. They also have the Google Play Store, Vudu Store, Fandango Now, lots of other stuff out there at the moment. Jump in the channel store and explore. Hamilton asks, how do I get started in cord cutting and why? Good job, by the way. You helped a lot. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that I'm helping. As to why I became a cord cutter, it was cost. We had some bills. We sat down one day and said, hey, here's the bills we want to pay off. We're going to do everything we can to pay these off. And part of that was stuff like not going out to eat as much and doing that and cutting cable. So I cut cable in January a few years back and kind of started looking around, found the cord cutter group on Reddit, a few other places, realized not a lot of good cord cutting coverage in the media. They back then it was so questioned, hey, is cord cutting real was a common story frame in mass media, or cord cutting is not really happening was another one. And so I started Cord Cutters News to kind of give coverage to something I thought they, even the news media was not paying attention to. But now I know news media is owned by broadcast networks, basically. Even CNET's owned by CBS now. So that's why they're not doing it. Mike asks, best free channels for children. PBS Kids is great. Tubi and Crackle both have a ton of kids content for free. Search, Hanna-Barbera has one. Fraggle Rock and all that kind of stuff is free on the Roku if you have a Roku. Just search around and go from there. GW says MyBox. Are you saying that MyBox has Vudu, or I'm not understanding the question there? All right, so I think I've caught up. Well, okay, Seth asks, will TV be offering a la carte package? I thought they said they would, but I see that they might have abandoned it. Yes, at one point they did advertise a la carte TV, which was the ability to pick channels, whatever ones you wanted. They have backtracked on that severely. I'm really not sure what's happening there. They're kind of gone underground. It used to be a lot of TV, or it used to be called Tubi TV. Reps were just hounding me, and in the last couple of weeks they've kind of gone silent. So not sure if they realize that they've already talked to me, or if they're just kind of putting everything on hold while they figure out something over there. Hopefully we'll learn more about TV soon. And TV is a service that claims to be a lot like Sling TV. I love competition. I think competition is good for cord cutting, so I hope they come to market. I know there's a lot of people have been very concerned about them being a multi-level marketing type service, so we'll have to wait and see what we find out. I don't know. TV will be interesting. Hamilton asks, what's your views on illegal Kodi add-ons? They are bad for cord cutting. Piracy damages cord cutting. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. There's, back in the day when you could not legally access the content you wanted, there was a legitimate reason to use it. Hey, if you're not going to let me pay for it, I want to watch it, I'm willing to pay, but you're not letting me. Well, now you can pay for it. So you want cord cutting to grow, pay for the content you want, is what I recommend. It's like my site. Hey, I got to pay a family. I got a daughter, I got a wife, I got a foreign exchange student now. I support the site through ads is how I do it. I don't charge a bill, but help people make pay for the content, helps people make more content you like. It's just how it works. How do you reduce interface from electronic appliances on OTA antenna? Every time my freezer runs, the TV in the living room breaks up. Move your antenna, try to get a roof-mounted antenna. Do your best to get your antenna as high as possible and as far away from electronics as possible. I know it's always not perfect, but maybe just get rid of your freezer. I don't know. Honestly, my recommendation, maybe if you're struggling, is get a Tableau DVR, put it in an upstairs bedroom if you have one, connect it there, connect to your Wi-Fi, and run it to a Roku in your living room. That way, hopefully, the freezer won't affect your antenna at all. What's your take on a Roku versus Android box? Plus or minuses? Get the Roku. Right now, I think Roku's versus Android, regular Android boxes, not even close. Android TV is a lot better than it used to be. Still missing a lot of key services. PlayStation Vue just came out there, but no Amazon Video, the #2 streaming service in the United States. And even though their app lineup is growing, I do have questions about Google's commitment to Android TV. They haven't really been doing much with it recently. Is this going to be another service from Google where in a year they just shut it off? Remember, Google TV, predecessor to Android TV, just vanished one day and was gone, and they stopped developing for it, left a lot of people hanging. on boxes that were very expensive. I don't think Google's going to do that. They seem committed to it. They just haven't been developing the Android TV. So get a Roku. NVIDIA Shield is a very nice device. They have a new one coming out probably this year. If you really want an Android TV, get the NVIDIA Shield. The MyBox, got one sitting right here, is nice, but the 4K playback can lag a little, but it's cheap. You know, you get what you pay for. It's cheap. It does 1080p really well, good HD. It's the 4K and so forth that it struggles with. Kevin asks, are private channels on the Roku illegal? If it's pulling cable TV stations. If it sounds too good to be true, Kevin, it probably is too good to be true. So there, just because it's not if it's a private channel on Roku, it's not necessarily legal. There are a lot of good, legitimate private channels. But if it's promising you access to movies still in theaters, live TV, it's probably not a legal channel. Andy asks, how can we legally watch pay-per-view events without cable or satellite? Most pay-per-view events fall under two categories, wrestling and boxing. UFC app on Roku and others will allow you to subscribe for or pay for pay-per-view through Roku. WWE Network will bring you pay-per-view content for the WWE. Those are the two main ways I would check those two out. UFC app is pretty good. Google certified boxes versus Chinese boxes is another question I've just been asked for Android. Get Google ones. The price is pretty similar. I forget this. I want to say $69 for the Mi Box. I think somebody corrected me from China once. This is actually Mi is pronounced me in China, and you can put Kodi on it if that's what you want, and it does have a full-fledged Netflix and so forth, Hulu and so forth, where on a regular Android box, you're going to get a phone version of those apps that won't give you true 1080p HD. They'll be limited, and you'll run into some other issues with them. So get the Android TV box. It's definitely worth it. Any idea why Sony Bravia TVs will ever offer mainstream apps? You know, the problem with Sony Bravia TVs is Sony has abandoned that OS. Sony now ships Android TV, just like the MyBox, the NVIDIA Shield on it, their Kara. And so I wouldn't expect any additional additions to a smart TV. That is why I'm always cautious about smart TVs, unless it's like a Roku or an Android one, because once Sony has your money, they're not going to develop for it anymore. Or especially Roku, they've shown that they're updating their TVs because Roku has an invested interest in keeping you locked into the ecosystem on a Roku because they make money off of ads. Where Sony, when they had their own proprietary OS, I mean, once they sold you the TV, they could care less about updating it. You know, they're not going to make more money off of you. So I would recommend, if you're going to buy a smart TV, get a Roku, get a Sony one with an Android TV built in. Yes, Robert, I think UFC is on pretty much every device now. Ricky, you know, we only promote legal services here, so I'm really not going to be talking about how to get content through like Kodi illegally. But if you're looking for Canadian shows, I would check out Amazon. They actually have a good amount of them that you can buy a season pass for. A lot of people have been talking about Pluto TV in the comments. Yeah, Pluto TV is a great service. Highly recommend it. You will find a lot of fun content on there. It's 100% free, so hey, why not check that out? Again, that's Pluto TV. It's on pretty much every device from the Apple to the Fire to the Roku, Android, and so forth. And it kind of takes all the content from around the web and puts it on your TV in a cable-esque like guide, and it's really cool. Sorry, I am having horrible allergies today. Sorry, my voice sounds a little weak. Hey, we got about 10 minutes left right now. If you have a comment, post it on the bottom on Facebook. Right here, courtcardsnews.com/Facebook if somebody shared this with you on a different page. Head over to facebook.com/courtcardsnews. Post your comment there, and I will do my best to answer them. Again, it doesn't have to be a specific question. If you have a general comment to say, you want to ask me about myself, the site, my experiences, feel free, and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. I think I just got message one. All right. So thank you to everybody who has participated. Seems like we're dying down a little bit. Mike asks, who carries newest episodes of The Walking Dead? You got a couple options for The Walking Dead if you want it live. Number one, you could get Sling TV, PlayStation Vue. They both will offer it live. They have AMC there. Or you can go on like iTunes or Amazon Video and get a PlayStation View, or excuse me, a season pass. I can talk and read at the same time. Doesn't always work well on there, and get the Walking Dead the next day. You know, if you only want The Walking Dead and you're willing to wait till the next day, the cheapest way is to get a season pass. Those Sling TV and PlayStation Vue offer a lot of content. I wouldn't be paying for that if you only want one show. Do you ever go over basics to those who want to cut the cord but have yet to do it? Scott asked. If you're looking for like a guide on how to be a cord cutter, if you go to Cord Cutters News, I'll put it in the show notes now, but if you're watching this on replay, go to Cord Cutters News. Look at the very top of the site, and you would see Cord Cutting 101. Click on that. It is a beginner's guide to cord cutting. It will walk you through step by step on how to become a cord cutter. Help you. There's even one there that little tab there to say here are common mistakes new cord cutters make and how to avoid them. So check that out. Put a link in the comments there for you there, Scott. And if you have additional questions after that, search on Facebook for a Facebook group called Cord Cutting Tech Support. It's a Facebook group with about almost 6,000 people now. That will allow you to go out there, post your questions, and people will answer them. It's a really great group. Check it out. It's also owned by Cord Cutters News, and we do our best to help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. Bill adds, old episodes of Walking Dead are free over there. Yeah, on a few markets they are. So if you have not bought an antenna and you're a cord cutter, always recommend that. So much great content. And hey, if you've had an antenna for a few months, or even especially if you had it for more than a year, rescan for channels. There are a lot of new over-the-air channels coming on the market, and you won't know they're there unless you go into your TV settings and rescan for new channels. I did that a while back, and suddenly we had 2 new channels came on the market where I lived up in Michigan back then. All right, keep them coming. You got questions, comments, let me know. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Share this in our tech support group. I want to make sure there's nothing over there. Yep. So I think I've kind of caught up right now. If I haven't answered your question, please post it again, because I probably missed it as it streamed on by me. And we will do our best to answer them real quick. I got time for just a couple more questions. If this is your very first time in our weekly Q&A, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for about 45-50 minutes, I'm here every week to do my best to answer your cord cutting related questions. Our goal here is how people get the most from their cord cutting experience and help people become cord cutters. And this is part of what I dedicate myself here to do that. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you appreciate everything. I hope I've been helpful to everybody. I really do love this, and it's been a great fun to work with everybody. All right, a few more questions here. Scott asks, Fios or Xfinity for internet to stream? Whatever gives you the best service. I actually had Xfinity for my internet provider. Was very happy. They have rolled out data caps, terabyte-sized data caps on more cities now, but they still are pretty good. Terabytes, most people are good. I think Fios does not have a data cap. Don't count me on that. That may be something for you to consider, but both will be more than sufficient for streaming content. Just find maybe which one has the best deal there, Scott. Bill says I rescan monthly on my TV, and if any found, rescan tab below. Yeah, it never hurts to rescan. It takes a few seconds, but I've been surprised at the rate that people have been adding channels in markets around here. Hillary asks, our antenna are taking a dump for some reason, and my husband cannot tune into anything on our Roku for NFL football. We have Sling as well. Any suggestions? Check for loose cables. So, you got the coaxial cable plugged in the back there. Kind of go along. Those things have ways of becoming loose, and that can severely degrade the signal quality. So, Hillary, go back and check for loose cables. See if the antennas got damaged. They're fragile things. Dropping them, kicking them can damage them. Mike asks, okay, Luke, all media streaming boxes are being blown up tomorrow and are never sold again. With that being said, what's the last device you would go out and buy tonight? I would get the Roku Ultra. Right here. I honestly do think that this is probably the best streaming player on the market right now, especially at its price point for streaming. No NVIDIA Shield fans say, well, this and that. Not looking for a device to be a server, not looking for a device to play games, but to watch content. The Roku's the best one, has the most channels. You would get the Amazon, you'd get the Vudu's and the Google Play and all kinds of stuff that other devices won't offer. So I would get this right now. The Roku Ultra would be the one I would buy if I had to buy a device today to last forever. Probably closely followed up by the Fire TV, the NVIDIA Shield, and the last device I would buy would be an Apple TV. Just can't recommend it. You way overpay for what you get. They're kind of lagging. They just don't have the apps. They don't have the horsepower. They don't have the 4K, the HDR. They just don't have what a lot of the other players have out there. So hope that answers your question. That's a fun question there. When is the new Roku operating system being rolled out to all devices? Brandon asks. It'll probably be rolled out here. It's already started rolled out. If you have some of the like Roku 2s and other ones, some Roku TVs already have the new OS. I expect them, they say, over the next few months, between now and December sometime. Probably most devices, most Rokus will be updated here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So every other day or so, just go in your system menus and check. It'll update overnight automatically at some point, but you can get it quicker if you keep checking and your manual updates. But you're going to have to wait until they release it to your network of boxes. So they're rolling it out to test it, to not be flooded with people trying to update. So keep that in mind. Kevin asks, I do not get why people want to use their streaming boxes to play games. You know, it can be kind of nice. You know, if you have a PlayStation 3, if you have a Xbox, those are good streaming devices. The NVIDIA Shield is a very good gaming system also. Mostly for older games, but it does a nice job with that. So it's a nice option there to have. Why not have it, I guess. Jason asks, will Roku ever have Kodi? In theory, it could, but the issue is more with Kodi. And Kodi's a bunch of volunteers. Actually had a great opportunity to meet face-to-face with the team Kodi back at CS in January. Very nice guys. They don't get paid for this. They volunteer their time. And that would require a total rewrite of the Kodi code to be to work on the Roku. So I don't really think that Kodi wants to spend the time to rewrite their code to make it work on Roku. So yeah. So that is it. This is the schedule end. I will take one last question if anybody has one. Don't mind my daughter there in the background. If anybody has any last questions, let me know. I'll refresh one more time to see if there is a question here in a moment. But I appreciate everybody's support. You all have been great. Nothing is makes my day better than when I hear from people that, hey, I've helped them save money, become a cord cutter, get more out of the cord cutting experience. That really does make my day. I really love what I do. So yeah, one last refresh here and see if there's any questions. Should I look at DVD for out or use Hulu? Scott, I would use both. DVDs are great. I still buy DVDs or rent, I should say, DVDs from Redbox every now and then. I think that's your question. I'm not really sure what exactly the question is there. I guess, should I upgrade from Roku 1 to the latest Express? Yes, you will see a huge upgrade. I even got both of them right here. This is going from the Roku 1 to the Express. You got all the new apps on this, the newest versions, the new OS here. It's much faster than the original Roku 1, and it's a fraction of the size. This is the regular Roku Express. I got the Roku Express Plus. Here we go, right here. And you can, with this version, only sold at Walmart, get the RCA red, white, and yellow plug so you can plug it into older ones. So I hope that helps. Check that out. Roku Express is $30 cheaper than the Roku 1 and well worth it. The major problem that I think Kodi has with illegal add-ons is it gives Kodi a bad name. They've been trying to get their software added to more devices, and companies won't deal with them because of their reputation for piracy. That's why Kodi, it really is. And plus, all the piracy add-ons and sales do nothing but cause tech support questions to them. So they're using the service for free. Somebody creates an add-on for it with piracy, and they get all these emails for tech support comments and stuff, and they're flooded with people saying, hey, you know, I was promised free movies, it's not working. And they're like, hey, that's not us. So I see why they're frustrated by it. All right, so that's it for today. Hey, thanks for everybody being here. Check back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will do my best to answer your questions, comments, talk about cord cutting in general. It's been a busy week, and I got a feeling this time next week we're going to have a lot of cord cutting news to talk about. So hope everybody has a great night. Take care. Hope you had a great Halloween, and I will see you all next week. And as always, cord cutting tech support. Just search on Facebook for cord cutting tech support. Find that group. Join it. It's got a little under 6,000 people on there. Great place to post questions and comments. Until next time, have a great day.